Buying a business can look like a shortcut to wealth. The seller's motivated, financing is available, and the opportunity feels familiar. But sometimes a deal that looks sensible on the surface is really a financial trap waiting to happen. This is a short story about one business purchase that almost went bad and why valuation made the difference. In this case, the prospective buyers already knew the business well. They worked in it every day. They trusted the seller, had legal help, and even found a lender willing to structure the financing. From their point of view, it looked exactly like the kind of opportunity people are told to look for: a familiar business, an established operation, and a faster path than starting from scratch. But when ALP became involved for the lender, the numbers told a very different story. The asking price was so high that the profits could not reasonably support the debt. If the transaction had gone ahead on those terms, the buyers might have spent years simply carrying the burden of the purchase instead of building real wealth. Part of the confusion came from appearance. The location had just been renovated, the leaseholds had been upgraded, and the business looked fresh and modern. That created a strong impression of value, but attractive premises do not automatically create transferable earnings. In practical terms, there was no meaningful goodwill in the deal. For the purchase to make sense, a rational buyer would actually need a discount on the value of the tangible assets. This is one of the most important lessons for buyers and lenders alike. Financing availability is not proof that a deal makes sense. A lender may be willing to consider a structure that is not good for the buyer. A seller may believe that the asking price is fair when it's not, but the real question never changes. Can the business support the debt and still leave the buyer with a worthwhile return? Valuation is where optimism meets math. What buyers are really buying is future cash flow. That cash flow has to carry the debt, support the owner, and still create value over time. If the earnings are weak, the deal often fails long before the buyer ever sees the upside they imagined. Ownership without enough free cash flow can become an expensive job instead of an investment. The better way to buy a business is to slow the process down and test the economics before the deal hardens around emotion. Normalize the earnings, separate the value of the hard assets from any claimed goodwill, model the debt service under realistic terms, and get independent valuation work early enough that it can still affect the decision. That helps buyers, lenders, and advisors look at the same deal through the same economic lens. If you're thinking about buying a business, do not rely on appearances, enthusiasm, or financing alone. Make sure the price, the collateral, and the cash flow all work together. At ALP Limited Valuation Services, we help business buyers, lenders, and business owners assess risk through valuation, machinery and equipment appraisal, and transaction analysis. Objective analysis can be the difference between a sound investment and a very expensive lesson. Reach out to us today. You can find us online at BusinessAndAssetValues.com or give us a call. Our contact information is all available in the show notes down below.